take a listen in live.
The United States launched a trade war against Canada, their closest partner and ally, their closest friend. At the same time, they're talking about working positively with Russia, appeasing Vladimir Putin, a lying, murderous dictator. Make that make sense. Canadians are reasonable, and we are polite, but we will not back down from a fight. Not when our country and the well-being of everyone in it is at stake. At the moment, the U.S. tariffs came into effect in the early hours of this morning, and so did the Canadian response. Canada will be implementing 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods, starting with tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods immediately, and tariffs on the remaining $125 billion of American products in 21 days' time. Encore aujourd'hui, on se voit forcé d'imposer des droits de douane de 25% sur 155 milliards de dollars américains de marchandises.
$155 billion worth of U.S. products, 30 billion,
30 milliards de dollars de façon
30 billion immediately,
jours,
and in 21 days, $120 billion worth of U.S.
Today, we will also be challenging these illegal actions by filing dispute resolution claims at the World Trade Organization and through the USMCA. But in the meantime, our tariffs will remain in place until the U.S. tariffs are withdrawn, and not a moment sooner. And should these tariffs not cease, we are in active and ongoing discussions with provinces and territories to pursue several non-tariff measures, measures which will demonstrate that there are no winners in a trade war. Now, just like I did a month ago, I want to speak first directly to the American people. We don't want this. We want to work with you as a friend and ally. And we don't want to see you hurt either. But your government has chosen to do this to you. As of this morning, markets are down, and inflation is set to rise dramatically all across your country. Your government has chosen to put American jobs at risk, at the thousands of workplaces that succeed because of materials from Canada or because of consumers in Canada, or both. They've chosen to raise costs for American consumers on everyday essential items like groceries and gas, on major purchases like cars and homes, and everything in between. They've chosen to harm American national security, impeding access to the abundant critical minerals, energy, building materials, and fertilizers that we have and that the United States needs to grow and prosper. They've chosen to launch a trade war that will, first and foremost, harm American families. They've chosen to sabotage their own agenda that was supposed to usher in a new golden age for the United States. And they've chosen to undermine the incredible work we've done together to tackle the scourge that is fentanyl, a drug that must be wiped from the face of the earth. So on that point, let me be crystal clear. There is absolutely no justification or need whatsoever for these tariffs today. Now, the legal pretext your government is using to bring in these tariffs is that Canada is apparently unwilling to help in the fight against illegal fentanyl. Well, that is totally false. Let's look at the facts. Our border is already safe and secure. Far less than 1% of fentanyl flows and less than 1% of illegal crossings into the United States comes from Canada. But we acted. because we know we can always do better. We responded to concerns, including from the President, by implementing an ambitious $1.3 billion border plan. A border plan that includes generational investments in new AI and imaging tools to stop the flow of fentanyl in its tracks, stronger coordination and information sharing with American agencies, along with the deployment of drones, helicopters, and additional personnel to keep our border secure. Now, a month ago, as part of an agreement with the United States that paused the tariffs, we made further commitments. We appointed Kevin Brasseau as our fentanyl czar, a man who dedicated his multi-decade career in law enforcement to combating organized crime networks and drug trafficking. We designated 7 drug cartels, sick, evil groups who cynically profit off the pain and suffering of people on both sides of the border, as the terrorist organizations that they are. And just yesterday, we launched a new joint operations partnership supported by a $200 million investment between Canada's security and law enforcement agencies, a partnership that will enhance the coordination of information and intelligence in order to thwart criminal gangs involved in the illegal fentanyl trade. And critically, our actions are working. As the U.S. Customs and Border Protection just acknowledged, there was a 97% drop in fentanyl seizures from January compared to December, to a near zero low of less than half an ounce seized in January, even with all the further enforcements and actions we've taken at the borders. In sum, we stepped up. We engaged closely and constructively with the President and his administration. We did everything we promised. We stuck to our word. And we did it because we believe in working together to protect our citizens. Now I want to speak directly to one specific American, Donald. In the over 8 years you and I have worked together, we've done big things. We signed a historic deal that has created record jobs and growth in both of our countries. We've done big things together on the world stage, as Canada and the US have done together for decades, for generations. And now we should be working together to ensure even greater prosperity for North Americans in a very uncertain and challenging world. Now, it's not in my habit to agree with the Wall Street Journal, but Donald, they point out that even though you're a very smart guy, this is a very dumb thing to do. We two friends fighting is exactly what our opponents around the world want to see. And now, to my fellow Canadians, I won't sugarcoat it. This is going to be tough, even though we're all going to pull together, because that's what we do. We will use every tool at our disposal so Canadian workers and businesses can weather this storm. From expanding EI benefits and making them more flexible to providing direct supports to businesses, we will be there as needed to help. But Canada, make no mistake, no matter how long this lasts, no matter what the cost, the federal government and other orders of government will be there for you. We will defend Canadian jobs. We will take measures to prevent predatory behavior that threatens Canadian companies because of the impacts of this trade war, leaving them open to takeovers. We will relentlessly fight to protect our economy. We will stand up for Canadians every single second of every single day, because this country is worth fighting for. Les derniers mois ont été stressants et
We're very
honnêtement épuisants
and
pour
really
nous tous.
tiring for all of
Mais
us,
je crois qu'on
frankly.
peut
But I think
être rassuré par
we can be
l'incroyable
reassured
solidarité
by the
dont
incredible
notre société
solidarity
témoin entre
that
nous. Solidarité
our
entre nos
society
entreprises, nos
showed
syndicats, notre
with our
société
companies,
civile, les communautés
civil society,
autochtones et tous les
and
Canadiens.
autochthonous,
L'ensemble de la société canadienne parle
indigenous
d'une
society.
seule voix
The
pour qu'on se
entire
fasse
society
entendre de nos
is
partenaires américains pour
unanimous.
illustrer que
We have to talk
l'imposition
to
de
our
droits de
American
douane,
partners.
c'est une très mauvaise
Those
idée.
tariffs are a
En même
very
temps,
bad idea.
on
At the
travaille à
same time,
l'interne pour faire
working
tomber les obstacles au
internal
commerce
to
entre nos
eliminate
provinces et territoires. On travaille pour
obstacles
rejoindre de nouveaux
between
marchés à travers le
trade
monde,
between our
pour
states,
bâtir une économie
and to
toujours
find
plus
new
forte et plus
markets throughout the world,
résiliente.
to have better
Dans
economy,
les
more
dernières
solid,
années,
more
j'ai eu
robust.
plusieurs occasions
The
de
last
discuter avec des leaders
years,
du monde
I
entier.
discussed
Mon
with leaders
message
all
est
over the
toujours
world.
le même.
My message
Le
hasn't
Canada
changed.
est un
Canada
partenaire
is
fiable et notre porte
reliable
est
partner,
grande ouverte.
and our doors are open.
Dans les dernières semaines, on a
During the
aussi
last
redoublé
week,
d'efforts pour renforcer nos
we
liens
made
avec le Mexique,
more efforts
qui a lui
to
aussi été
increase our
frappé par ces
collaboration with
tarifs.
Mexico, that is also a victim of these
Ensemble,
tariffs.
on va chercher de nouvelles façons
Together,
de collaborer
we will
et de
find
s'appuyer
other
l'un
ways
sur
of
l'autre pour faire
working
face à cette
and
menace.
rely one with each other
Face à
to
l'incertitude,
confront
face
this.
à l'inquiétude, les Canadiens ont fait preuve
Confronted
de
with this
tellement de solidarité.
uncertainty,
Je vous ai
Canadians
vu
are
partager des
show
listes de
much
produits
solidarity.
canadiens pour aider vos proches à appuyer
You
les entreprises
share
d'ici.
products
Je vous ai vu
to help
changer vos plans de
companies.
vacances
I
et
see.
opter pour des
I
magnifiques
saw you
destinations
change
touristiques qu'on a
travel
ici
plans
chez nous, au Canada.
to remain in
Je
Canada,
vous ai vu redoubler
and
d'efforts
I
pour soutenir
saw
nos
that
petites
you were making
entreprises
more
et nos
efforts
travailleurs.
to support small
Je vous ai
businesses
vu vous
and
porter à la
workers.
défense de notre
I saw
culture
that
et
you
la faire
defended your
rayonner.
culture to
Je vous
make
ai
it
vu
shine even
encourager
more.
nos
I
athlètes
saw you
avec une
encourage
ferveur
your
sans
athletes
précédent.
with unwavering
Moi
support
qui croyais que je ne
and
pouvais pas être plus
enthusiasm.
fier de notre
I
pays
cannot
et de mes
be
compatriotes.
more proud of my
Mais j'ai
fellow
encore
Canadians.
quelque chose à vous
But
demander.
there's something else I want to
Lâchez pas.
ask from
C'est
you.
le moment de
Do not
redoubler d'efforts,
abandon,
de se tenir
do
debout
not
pour notre pays, de faire
fight for
tout
your
ce qu'on
country.
peut pour
Do
choisir le
everything you
Canada,
can
pour
to
défendre
choose
le Canada.
Canada, to defend
On va
Canada.
passer ensemble à travers
We
des
will
moments
go through
difficiles.
these
Mais après
difficult
vous
times
avoir vu
together.
aller dans les dernières semaines, j'ai jamais été aussi
I've
optimiste
I've never
quant au
been
futur
so
de notre beau pays,
optimistic after seeing
malgré
how you
tous
have
les défis qu'on va être
reacted
en train de
in the
vivre ensemble.
past weeks, and we will
Le
go through.
Canada
We will
reste le
survive
meilleur
these
pays sur Terre.
dif-
On a tellement de
difficult
raisons
times.
d'être fiers
Canada
de
is
notre
the
chez
best
nous, de
country
ces
in the world.
quelques arpents de
There are
neige.
reasons to be so
Mais surtout,
proud of this country and
je suis fier
this
de notre capacité
snowy
de nous
country,
serrer
and
les coudes
I
quand vient
am
le temps.
proud of our solidarity,
Les
our
Canadiens ont
capacity to
différentes
weather the
origines,
storm.
différentes langues, différentes croyances.
We have
Mais
different
quand vient le temps de
origins,
défendre
different
notre
languages,
pays,
but when it
on
comes
le
to
fait
defending
d'une
our
seule
country,
voix, main dans
we
la
are
main.
one.
À travers vents et marées, les Canadiens
Through the
peuvent
storm,
toujours compter
Canadians can
les uns
always
sur les autres.
on each other,
Now, we've
on one
been
another.
through tough spots before. But every time we've faced long odds and seemingly insurmountable obstacles, we've not only survived, we've emerged stronger than ever. Because when it comes to defending our great nation, there is no price we all aren't willing to pay. And today is no different. Merci beaucoup, mes amis.
Thank you very much.